Hello and welcome to your monthly TarotScopes with me, Intuitive Rene. We are looking at October 2021. I can't quite wrap my head around that, but welcome. These are your TarotScopes for the month ahead. TarotScopes are released every single month on the last Friday of the month to give you insight, inspiration, and guidance for the month ahead. The videos will remain available to you throughout the month of October and even after that. So if you ever need to come back and watch again, you certainly can do so. TarotScopes, I have put them together to help you with insight, with guidance, with inspiration, looking at various or a few areas of life that I feel is relevant and appropriate for every one of us. So just a little bit of insight into the energies around what you can expect on emotions, what you can expect around finances, and what you can expect around your health, as well as giving you an overall kind of theme for the month ahead. And also, just before we finish off, I like to give a little bit of information as to what to watch out for and what to embrace, what to accept into your life during the month as well. I've had so many people say to me over the last couple of months when they've watched the TarotScopes that they've come back to it sort of closer to the end of the month or partway through the month, just as a reminder, just to sort of check. And there's so much that is applicable and appropriate. And I'm always a little bit blown away as to how relevant it can be for so many different people. I also, when I set up and start recording these videos, I do set the intention that it be applicable to your sun sign, which is your standard zodiac that we're all aware of, your moon sign, and your rising sign. So if you know what your moon sign is, if you know what your rising sign is, you can watch those videos as well, which will help you to have a little bit more information into you, what you're dealing with and what you're going through. All I ask in return, if you do enjoy the content, all I ask is that you click that subscribe button over there. Click the subscribe button, and then if you click the little bell next to it, basically what happens is you will then receive a notification every single time I upload a video. At the moment, my upload schedule is a daily tarot reading, 7 days a week, Monday to Sunday. Actually, I'm lying to you, that's Monday to Saturday, because on Sundays I like to do Oracle Sundays. So Oracle Sundays, we do a little bit more of an in-depth reading. We give a little bit more guidance into the Sunday and into the week coming up. So you can almost look at it as a week ahead kind of forecast energetically. And then during the week, we'll have just a straightforward tarot reading to give guidance for the day. And then every Friday, we'll have something interesting. Normally it's a pick a card. Normally it's a pick a card kind of reading. And the last Friday or Friday of the month will be TarotScopes. And there may be one or two little other things that might crop in over the next month as well. So do be sure to click that subscribe button. And click the bell so that you don't miss anything. And of course, if you want more from me, there's always more. Now I sound like I'm an advert, and that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm trying to sell myself to you. But if you want more, if you would like to have personal reading with me once a week, do consider joining my YouTube channel members. So just once you've clicked subscribe, just beneath over there, you will find, once you've clicked subscribe, you will find a button that says join. And when you join there on the second or the third tier, every single Wednesday evening, South African time, 7 p.m., I do live readings where you get to ask questions and you get to get instant answers from me. The channel is growing so nicely. I have so many members already, and I love it. It is just, we have so much fun on a Wednesday evening. It's so interactive, it's so fun, and I know that everybody who's part of the club just can't wait for Wednesdays to come along. So let me stop babbling now. I'm finished with my sales pitch. Let's get into your TarotScopes, because that is, of course, exactly why you are here and what you are looking for. So we're going to get started, and I do hope that you enjoy. Okay, Virgo, as you can see, I have shuffled and laid out some cards to give us the guidance that we need during the month of October. And we're going to start with this one over here, which is going to give you the theme for the month ahead. So Virgo, what is the theme for the month of October? Let's have a look. We have got, you are living poetry. Oh, I like that. You are living poetry. So my immediate take on that is how beautiful everything is and how everything fits together and how everything flows from one into another. Because that's what poetry is. Yes, we do have some poetry where it doesn't rhyme and it doesn't make sense and whatever else, but you are living poetry. So everything that you're doing now in the month of October is going to be actually quite phenomenal. It may cause people to sort of like stop and stare. It may cause people to go like, what? But generally speaking, I think everything's going to flow. I think everything's going to rhyme. Everything's going to be just be synchronous. I like that, synchronous. So you are living poetry, Virgo, and October is going to be, well, so far, according to this, going to be really, really interesting and really intriguing. The other thing that I'm getting with this particular card, when it talks about being living poetry, it's almost like understanding your personal brand, understanding your personal, like who and what you are, what you're made up of, and asking yourself, are you being authentic and true to yourself? Are you, if you're a limerick, are you being a proper limerick? Are you always that, or are you changing your brand? Are you changing your type? I also think it's got to do with your expression. I think it's got to do with expressing yourself openly and honestly to the world and not fearing other people's thoughts about it, just being true to yourself. So I'm really loving this. I think you are living poetry. For Virgo energy for the month of October is just amazing. So I'm going to bring that into the full reading, because this is going to be applicable to all the different areas that we're going to be looking at. So Virgo, we're going to now look at these three cards across the top, and they're going to give us insight into your emotions, into your career, work, and money, and into your health and well-being. So we're going to start off with emotions. So for the month of October, what is the energetic emotion, or what is the energy around your emotional well-being? And the card we have is the card of the Empress. The Empress is the card that gives life to things. It's the card that initiates, ignites passion, enthusiasm, creativity, just nurturing love, acceptance, all of those beautiful words. And I do think from an emotional point of view, what the Empress is saying to you, considering that you are living poetry, it's about seeing, recognizing, acknowledging how everything is in flow, how everything is just working easily, simply, and how everything is just, I have to say it, perfect. It doesn't mean that your life is perfect. It doesn't mean that you don't have problems, you don't have challenges, but it means emotionally, even if there are difficulties, even if there are challenges, how it all just flows towards a bigger goal, a bigger picture. The Empress, as I said earlier on, she is the person who gives life. Okay, she gives life to situations and to circumstances and so forth. And I think for you at the moment, Virgo, it's about recognizing, what are you wanting to change? What are you wanting to bring into your life, into your current reality on an emotional level? And it's about recognizing your brand. It's about recognizing who your integrity and who and what you are, and making sure that there is alignment. Don't try and be somebody you're not, okay? Because the Empress, she knows her power. She knows exactly what she's capable of doing. She knows that she is the nurturer. She's the one who loves unconditionally. She gives birth, she gives life to things. And she's not full of ego about it. She just knows it's her place. She knows it's her function. So Virgo, for you on an emotional level, it's about nurturing yourself, nurturing your emotions. But instead of trying to force yourself to be somebody you're not, like, don't even bother doing that. Just be your true self and be okay with that. Be okay with who you are and actually be proud of who you are, because you're pretty awesome. You're pretty fantastic. And emotionally, it's about recognizing the flow, recognizing how everything sort of works together. The word that I'm hearing with this is the ecosystem, okay? Your emotional ecosystem. When you understand, when you acknowledge, and when you comprehend your emotional ecosystem, everything is just living poetry. Everything just works. So that is going to be what you need to be thinking about during the month of October. It's about recognizing what you're able to manifest, what you're able to create emotionally for yourself. It's not about other people, okay? We're not worrying about other people. Yes, we have all sorts of people who are important and significant in our lives, family, friends, work colleagues, etc. But this is about you, okay? This is about you. And I know that's probably a bit of a foreign concept, thinking about yourself, but you've got to recognize that you are living poetry and that you are able to manifest and to create such beauty, such wondrous beauty. I love that. I'm becoming quite poetic. Virgo, we're now going to have a look at your career, your finances, your money. What is the energy around that for you in the month of October? Look at that. 10 of Wands. So we're staying in the garden. Okay. I'm loving the colors. I really am loving the colors. So here we have a lady and she is barefoot. I'm loving that as well. She is connecting to the earth. She's connecting to Gaia. She's just being so grounded and just so authentic. Okay. And she's come out to pick flowers. She's already gathered so much. She already has everything that she needs, but it's so beautiful, it's so wonderful. Why would you stop? Why would you stop? And again, that's the living poetry. So the 10 of Wands is the card of, I'm going to call it abundance, okay? It's the card of recognizing all that you've achieved and all that you do, and you're going to find yourself now, when it comes to career, money, finances, during the month of October, you're going to find yourself having excess. Okay, I'm just going to put it out there, having excess, but we're not going to be wasting the excess. She's not wasting the excess, even though she's taking more than she possibly needs. It's not about excess, because what she's going to do with the excess is she's going to share it. She's going to give it. She's going to make her home beautiful. She's going to share it with people who maybe need a little bit of color, a little bit of love, a little bit of excitement. So for you, Virgo, during the month of October, you are going to recognize that you have, it may only be a small amount of money, it may only be a small token, but there will be enough to go around. There will be enough to share. It doesn't mean, the quantity of money is not what's important here. It's the fact that your needs versus what you have access to, okay? That there is going to be a little bit of splurge, a little bit of extra. And it's about what you do with that. Because yes, you could leave the flowers in the field and they would be beautiful, but they're going to eventually come to the end of their existence anyway. So we might as well enjoy and appreciate them while we can. And that's what she's doing. And even though it's too much for her, she knows that she can make use of it. She knows that she can share it, share the love, share the joy, share the happiness with other people. And in that experience, there is poetry, there is living truth, living integrity. There is just such beauty. Okay. So financially, physically, career-wise, there is going to be enough to share. So let that be your focus for the month. And again, it's not about the quantity, it's about the quality of what you're sharing, of what you're putting out and what you're giving, sharing, connecting with. So even if you cook a meal and there's a little bit extra, share it with somebody in need. Give it to somebody who doesn't have. Share, connect, but appreciate, enjoy and appreciate all that you have, because you've worked so hard for those flowers. You've worked so hard. And when it all comes together, when everything comes together so beautifully, it's poetry. It's poetry, Virgo. It's poetry. All right. We're now going to have a look at this card over here, which is your health and well-being. So from a physical point of view, what is the energy around you for the month of October? All right, we have still got some flowers, but what we have here is the Five of Cups. And the Five of Cups, I mean, okay, so let's just look at the card. She is standing, I'm going to call it knee deep in water, okay? We have these beautiful flowers that are sort of just, I almost want to say floating by. She's holding on to a tree, but it's a little bit barren. It's a little bit not so fabulous. It's not as bright and bold as these two. So things are getting a little bit darker. But this has got to do with your health and well-being. And I think what this is saying to you is that you may experience some disappointments, okay? You may not be feeling as fabulous as you are pretending, all right? You may be feeling a little bit mournful, a little bit disappointed, a little bit, just lost in your thoughts even, okay? Lost in your emotions and lost in your thoughts. You may be feeling a little bit overwhelmed at, can I fix this? Can I change it? And with your regards to your health and well-being, when this happens for you, you've got to recognize that we can't always have happiness and sunshines, because poetry is about the good and the bad. It's about the progress and the movement from one to the other. We cannot always only have happiness. Physically, though, I do think that you've let yourself go a little bit. I do think that you've, you know, if let's say, for example, you signed up at the gym 6 weeks ago. When you first start, we started with enthusiasm and passion, and we go every day. And then we have one day where we're suddenly feeling like, oh, I'm not in the mood, I'll skip today, I'll go tomorrow. And when you skip one day becomes 2 days, becomes 4 days, becomes we're knee deep in water. Okay, so you may have let yourself go a little bit with regards to your health and well-being, with regards to your physical, and you may now be feeling like, well, it's I'm too far gone to change it. No, you need to work through that. You need to work through the discomfort, work through the pain, work through the disappointment in order to find your happy ending, in order to get your poetry right. Okay, so Virgo, I do think this is spirit saying to you, it's not too late, it's not too far gone, but it is time that you took an honest hard look at yourself and said, right, what can I do? I mustn't ignore. I need to work on myself. So when we talk about health and well-being, we're talking about your physical body, we're talking about the way that you take care of your physical, the way that you nurture and take care of your physical. So just be mindful of that. All right. We have got 2 cards left down here, Virgo, and these 2 cards are going to be what you need to embrace during the month of October and what you need to watch out for, what you need to be careful of in the month. So let's have a look. What do you need to embrace this month? And we have the Queen of Cups. So the Queen of Cups and the Empress are very similar energies, I'm going to put it. Okay, they both nurture, they both take care of, they're both more worried about other people than they are worried about themselves. They recognize that their function and their purpose is to nurture, is to take care of, is to love unconditionally. And this is something that you need to embrace. And I do think, Virgo, this is spirit saying to you that you don't really pay much attention to you. Everything that you do is so that you can help others. When we write poetry about our feelings, we write poetry about our deepest, darkest, thoughts, feelings, and whatevers. But we write poetry because it's beautiful and pretty for others. A lot of people don't always understand that poetry has so much truth in it. Everybody just relates it to themselves. So, Virgo, this is spirit saying to you that during the month of October, instead of always focusing on others, recognize that what you're doing for others is a need that you have within yourself. Okay, so it's about bringing it back onto yourself so that we can get out of this water. This is what you need to embrace. It is your soul purpose. It is exactly who you are. You are the nurturer. You are somebody who likes to take care of and is always considering and thinking about other people. But recognize that you also need a little bit of nurture. You also need a little bit of love. Embrace that. Okay. And what to watch out for during the month of October, what to be careful of. We have the Emperor. So we have our Empress's masculine counterpart. And the Emperor is about control, dominance, leadership, masculinity, all of those kind of keywords. And the Emperor is about recognizing, okay, so what Spirit is saying is watch out that you don't get so stuck in process, stuck in control, stuck in steps that you actually forget to feel. Okay, so watch out for that we don't take such a strong hard stance on what we're doing and how we're doing it and what we're doing for other people that we neglect the self. So watch out for strong, I'm going to call it strong emotions, strong mindset, strong feelings, strong anything, and just make sure that we're constantly finding balance between these two. All right, so I'm not done with you yet, okay? What I have here now, Virgo, is another deck, another set of cards. This is the Oracle deck that goes with this particular tarot, and I want to shuffle it and draw a card because this situation of what to embrace and what to watch out for, I just feel like I want to get a little bit more information around that. So I'm going to shuffle the cards, and we're asking for clarity, guidance, around what to embrace and what to watch out for. What does Spirit need you to know? What other information can Spirit offer with regards to this? Okay, and that's the card that we are taking today. Look at that. We've got the Sea Witch. Isn't she gorgeous? I love the artwork. All right, so what we have is we have this little girl. You can see how cute and innocent she is. But look what she's got here. She's got this, I'm going to call it a windmill. She's holding it like it's an umbrella, but obviously she's underwater, okay? You can see she's got a little fishy companion with her. But what she's using this windmill as is her mode of transport. So she's using the windmill. As it turns, it propels her. It's her propeller as she moves through the water, which means that, you know, as far as Sea Witch goes, she's able to take things, stuff, and she's able to use it to her advantage to achieve things that maybe ordinarily she wouldn't be able to achieve. So let's put it here between these two, okay? So what do you need to embrace? You need to embrace the fact that you yourself need a little bit of love, need a little bit of TLC, that you also need a little bit of nurturing. And you can see how that blends, these two blend so well together. And what is it that you need to be careful of is the control. So I'm sure she's able to move on her own, but she's using this windmill to propel her. That windmill, I have to be honest with you, it doesn't look so strong. It doesn't look so fabulous. So maybe the windmill's going to let her down. And she's so fixated on the windmill working, because that's what this Emperor is all about, this control, dominant energy. And maybe when things don't quite go according to plan, maybe she gets a little bit emotional and a little bit upset with herself, a little bit frustrated, and maybe this is what we should be avoiding. Okay, so when I look at these three cards together, Virgo, the message that's coming through is you yourself need to be nurtured. Yes, you're always taking care of other people, but it's time that you recognize that you yourself need a little bit of help. Don't be so fixated on that. Don't be so determined to get that help that you're just setting yourself up for failure. It's about finding, the word I'm going to use is balance, okay? It's about finding the balance between your needs and what you feel is important and significant, and trying to find a balance between the two. And that is poetry. That is poetry in motion. All right, Virgo, I must be honest and say this is the only kind of concern card that I have for you this month. The Five of Cups with regards to your physical well-being. This is definitely something to be mindful of. Don't be so super hard critical of yourself. Try and be a little bit gentler and kinder with yourself, and don't feel as if it's too late to change your situation. You can, baby steps, one thing at a time. Don't be so hard. Don't put so much pressure on yourself, and see what you can do to let the plug out and let some of that water dissipate. You don't want to be going further into the water. We actually want to be working our way out of it. All right. So otherwise, do have an absolutely awesome October with love and blessings from my heart to yours. Until we connect again, take care.